Good day. Welcome back to the channel. This will be part 2 of picking up this machine from auction here. So, yeah, I went ahead and did a thing, and that thing is right here in front of us. Now, for those that are uninitiated or don't know, this is an AGT Industrial SDA 140T. See, I can't even remember that, and I own the thing. Well, just own the thing. I picked it up yesterday. So what we're going to do in this video is we're just going to go through kind of some things I've learned, some things I've done already, having it for 24 hours, and try and see if this was a good deal, this was a bad deal, if, you know, fit, finish, quality, those kinds of things. More or less a review and some information. I was looking around on the old internet there, and I really could not find much of anything in the way of information for these machines, like track width, track length, overall length. Like there was some discrepancies in that with the bucket, and weight, which we'll have to throw it on the trailer and find out. We could read the tag, but I've learned with this imported equipment, the tag isn't always correct. As well as, you know, is this a good machine? I know these get a lot of flack and a lot of hate. There's definitely more negative than positive things floating around on the internet about these machines, but is it deserved? Is it justified? So stay tuned. Come on with me on this little review adventure thing. You know, phrase here too somewhere. Hi, little girl. You gonna help? Yeah, of course you're gonna help. You're always helping. That's my little girl. Anyways, let's crack on into it. Alrighty. So we're just going to do a quick walk around on the machine here to see what we're up against. Or not up against, but what we actually have here. So yeah, 3 lower idlers, no upper idler, but a decent sized sprocket there, a little idler there, and a large idler there. Kind of typical for this range of machine, especially on the AGT. It's either that or they have that one full track with the big sprocket at the back. I believe it's 2 on the bottom and then 1 large one at the front. But the track is normally wider. So we'll get a tape measure on that later on, and we'll show you how wide that is. Coming up here, so it is H pattern controls. So for those that have been in the industry a while, that's standard stuff, you know, not so much anymore, but back in the day, oh man, now I sound like one of those people that dates people. But yeah, so I believe it was early 90s all the way through to the 2000s. H pattern was the most common control pattern. So the levers up there, and there's a sticker up top that shows us that. So we'll dive into that in a sec. But coming around here, so the seat is fixed. That is one thing I'm going to say right away. It'd be nice if the seat was up a little bit and some kind of rubber cushion or something. I'm sure a guy can fabricate something or fabric cobble something in there, make life a little easier. You got a tie down point here. That is the exhaust. You know, if that's the exhaust, please don't put your hand on that. That's kind of par for the course. Then up here, you have your hydraulic cooler and a decent adjustable latch here. So we'll open that up. Bang! Right? So, you know, cooler, fairly decent lines. So that is the fuel tank, the air intake, and the muffler on the engine. G for gasoline. It's not a diesel, it's gasoline. You know, It's a 23 horsepower Rado, as far as I know. Oops, maybe I should close that. Perfect. That's perfect. I do like how this is two pretty good size hinges. Again, tie down point right there, and then help you get in over this awkward hump thing. Yeah, it's a little awkward to get into, but that's okay. And as you can see, same on this side. Large idler, small rollers. Sorry, 3 small lowers, and then a small rear, and the large sprocket at the back. Coming up. So ignition, so it's key start. I'm going to have to fix this. This kind of got a little mangled. That's okay. So, horn, electric fan, and the headlights. There's a shot of the control pattern sticker. It's actually pretty clear and well done, considering the rest of the stickers that you see on these machines are iffy at best. Up here at the operations center, you have hydraulic oil temp, hour meter. This comes on when the ignition's on, if I remember. Yep. So that's ignition, and this is when the fan is on. So it gives you a visual that the fan is on, which is nice. That's handy. This is your throttle and your choke, as well as a 12-volt outlet. Right, with the operator's station out of the way there, we'll carry on. See, if you do notice the headlights here, I put them there on the brackets because there's supposed to be a canopy up top. We don't run canopies out here. It's just easier to transport, one less thing to worry about, and if you want to put it inside like the garage here, I only got a 5-panel garage. You'd need a 7-panel garage to get it inside. So we just take them off. That being said, though, our R15 has it, but it stays outside under a cover. Coming around the front side, so we do have, these are your bucket tilt lines, and then we do have the auxiliary lines as well for running attachments. Back here as well, spin around. It is just a standard plate, with your pins. Standard deal. Hi, Frey. Oh, hi. Yeah, hi. So, for the most part, it's a pretty decent looking machine. Unlike the other track steers or stand-on skid steers, whatever you want to call them, there is only one lift cylinder in here, and we'll pop this up in the air and show you. So there it is. Not bad. Not bad. Alright, headphone users and those that have their stereos turned up or headphones turned up or whatever turned up, I'm going to warn you this is loud, but we're going to put this up in the air. Oh, hi Frey, you going to help? Now, one thing I have noticed compared to other brands is that you do have to choke this engine all the time. I don't know if that's a Rado thing or what. I don't know if there's a fix for it. And at this point, it doesn't particularly bother me. So let's get this up in the air. There it is. Not bad. With that up in the air there, you can see it's not, it's got a decent amount of height in it. I can definitely, if I tip the bucket all the way up, I can hit the rafters in the garage, and you know, I don't really want to do that. So let's get under here. Well, never right under, because there's no safety brace there. That is one thing that I would like to see with these, but again, you're not paying for a high-end machine with these, so you got to temper your expectations on some things. So as we come around here, so you can see that yes, single lift cylinder, rubber pads at the bottom where the bottom of the boom, these bumps right here, they rest. And then all your hydraulic fittings and lines are here. Right? Now, we're gonna do this right there. So that grease fitting, I changed that right away. And then I changed to a standard grease fitting up here. Now they are metric, so you just get a kit of metric ones and away you go. Whereas this one is standard, and that one right there is standard inside the pin. And if you look, it might be a little difficult. Way up in here, there it is, right there. I changed that one to a 45 degree to get the grease gun on easier, make life a bit easier for me. Now, again, you have to, speaking of tempering your expectations and things, you know, this is every bit an entry-level machine. Does that mean it's horrible? No, it doesn't. You know, things like the welds, they're not as refined. And the paint works a little iffy. But that's alright. That, to me, is black trim clad, and life is good. You know, we'll find the color that matches this, and I'll post that in the description. Because I know, like, here, I've had some paint flaking off, you know, places like that. And then, unfortunately, this scuff, and that scuff, and that one were all done in transportation. Yeah, paint quality. However, I didn't pay 20 grand or whatever for this. This isn't beaver bucks. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. There is a place selling these for 7 grand plus GST. I think that's a little steep. In fact, I know that's a little steep. This one is for sale, and it is listed for what I think is more fair at $5,500. So 5,500 beaver bucks brings you home one of these. Well, brings this one home for you from me. So yeah, let's do a walk around again, and we'll point out some more of the negatives, if you will. All right, so on this side, it's a little bit, you know, it's more of the same. Again, my only real complaint is the paint, right? And, you know, other than that, everything seems to be okay. You know, I think it's a decent little machine. Yeah, it's all there. It's a competent machine. It is awkward to get in and on and off of, but I think that would be rectified with the seat being raised a little bit. I think that would fix that. If this doesn't sell, I'm going to experiment with that and see if we can make that better. Speaking of transportation damage, though, we're kind of bouncing around. Oh, look, Frey. So when these get shipped, you'll see here, and it's on the other side too, the bucket gets turned around and flipped like this. I'll put a picture over there of what that looks like. So, you know, you're going to get, the paint's going to get all screwed up. Again, black trim clad for this, and life's good. But you know, it'd be nice if they didn't do that. I understand for shipping purposes. You know, that it is what it is on that front. Now, the other thing that I'd like to see improved that I will work on is, well, you see the paint marks there, the marks? There's rust over there, and well, not rust, but metal over there and metal over there. Well, that's from the bottom of the seat just resting on it. So I'd like to see some insulation on that. I might just throw a strip of like canopy tape on there and help with that. Don't know, might be hard to see, but there it is. That's a dual pump. There's both pumps. There's the hydraulic tank, and then the muffler, fuel tank, air intake. And then way down there, it's going to be hard to see. I should get light in there, but that's where the travel motors are. And it'd also be nice if this was sprung or something. Because, yeah. But, armrests. And not just one. Man, two. Two armrests. Rolling in luxury. And also, 12-volt auxiliary port for charging your phone, I guess. I don't know, I've been told that also has something to do with attachments. I don't have a lot of experience with the compact track steers and attachments, so I can't comment on that. So somebody will have to chime in and tell me if that's a thing. Yeah. So next up, we'll get some measurements on this thing, and we'll do the bucket width, track width, and overall length. And that way we can have a for sure answer and just get that done with. Okay, so with our handy dandy tape measure, we'll do it in freedom units, because that's how I looked it up. So we'll grab the edge of the bucket, if that'll stay. Come on, stay. To what looks to be the end, kinda. Let's call it 101 inches. Okay, track width. Well, let's do that where you can see it better, because there's no light. There we go. Track width, 7. And we're going to do contact patch. Kind of roughly what contacts the ground. Kind of roughly there. Oh, attack of the dog. Ah! Oh. Getting mauled by the dog. 43. Well, when you're down to fray height, you get mauled. So 43 inches of track surface hitting the ground. And then we'll do the bucket across the cutting edge, because that's its true dimensions. So this one is 45 by, we'll kind of wingy 22-ish. So 22 deep. That's not bad. I'm actually impressed. I didn't throw a tape on that when I was looking at it. So it's actually a fairly big bucket. Oh, what we should do is width from track to track. Now let's see if we get attacked again. Freya might come in for they're giving us the what's for not throwing her ball. Okay. Whoa. Can we navigate this? Okay. Outside of track. Yeah. To outside of track. Oh, stop moving, you goober. We're going to call it 38 to be safe. So, there you go. If you have to transport one of these, now you know. All right, so there we go. Kind of a quick walk around, quick positive, negatives. There are quick, a few things that I'm gonna fix before we sell this out and send her down the road. But that's okay. That's kind of, again, it's an entry level machine, and they're not perfect. In fact, I've seen the mid level and what you'd call high end. Those machines, I've seen them with horrible fit and finish. You kind of wonder how they made it out of the factory. So sometimes you just can't escape that. Am I happy with my purchase? Yeah, I am. Would I own one? Well, yeah, it's kind of like right here, so I kind of do. Yeah, I don't know. There isn't really too much to say without taking her for a boot and ripping around. But right now, it's just a skating rink, and the tracks do nothing but sit there and spin. So while that's fun to just burn fuel and spin tracks, doesn't really help anybody out. So we're gonna wait for some better weather, then we'll take it out and we'll do some actual pushing snow or something like that with that bigger bucket there. But yeah, so this is kind of a short and sweet one. So look, watch out for the one where we take her out and rip her about. So until then, thanks for watching. Stay safe out there, and take care. Catch you on the next one. Hey, no cookies. Go on, YouTube. Go on. Go on. Hi. Hi, buddy. Hi. Oh, there's a big boy. You're a big boy. Hey, go on. Go on. Are you going to stay under the desk while we do this? Thanks for hanging around to the end of the video. Appreciate that, as always. So, I did say at the beginning of the video that, yes, that was part 2. This was supposed to be part 2, but unfortunately part 1 got messed up. I don't know if it's a memory card problem or a camera problem or what the issue was, but it just, the data is corrupted and unusable at this point. So I'm honestly not going to try and save it or fix it. It was not that exciting, and I didn't really film the things I wanted to film anyways. So we're just going to leave her there. Yes, there will be more coming on that machine. We'll take the back cover off. We'll show you the engine. We're going to show you some more maintenance points, some things that I've learned from just running equipment, being around equipment, that translate into helping keep pieces of gear like this around a lot longer if you decide to do that. So with that, we'll end here, and again, thank you for watching. Those who comment, like, and subscribe, great, many thanks to you all. That means a lot to me. I'd love to get in touch with as many people as we can and answer as many questions as I can about these machines and anything equipment related. Apparently, both Frey and Kip have lots to say, and they want to play under the desk. So we'll end here. Stay safe, take care, and we'll see you in the next one. Oh, and we bought another piece of equipment, so there'll be videos on that as well. We'll see you then. Take care.